Hi, my name is Dr. Ambassador Joy Egebi. I am the CEO of Jacbell Media, and welcome to the Bus Stop with Coach Jacbell. On today's podcast, I have a very interesting person. Like I said, this podcast is not just to show industry experts, it's to, bring issues that are trending online, allow people have their own opinions and have a say. So this is a podcast where you are free to say anything and you will not be judged. Trust me on that. So, hello, Fag.
Yes. Hello. Hi.
Okay. So, tell us what's your name, your brand name. Tell us what you do.
All right. So, hi. I don't know. I always like saying hi, but yes, my name is Falade Debi Temitope. I am the event director of the Fabi brand, an award-winning event planning company in Nigeria. Yes. And one interesting thing about being the creative director of the Fabi brand is I tend to always ensure that I'm not just running the brand, but there is a legacy that I want to leave. Even when I'm not present and I have like my team there is a legacy. And so far, we're going to be 5 years this year.
Wow.
And it has been amazing.
It's supposed to prop champagne.
Like.
Okay, so because you're an event planner, there are lots of questions that I would like to ask you. Just assume that I've not planned any event on my own before.
Okay.
Of course, I know I've used you a couple of times.
Okay, all right.
And so there are some curiosity is making me to ask this. Okay. So do you think that most Nigerian brides are unnecessarily dramatic, or is it the planners that make the emotions to charge more?
Okay, let's sit down very well to answer this question. Because I've had an experience before.
Okay.
And one first thing I'm going to say is I've dealt with brides, and most times when the pressure gets really too much, I'll be honest, I even dealt with one recently. When the pressure gets too much, some people, like say individuals, they've not learned to master their emotions. That is, I know one thing about us planners, most times, most brides see us as their glorified house help.
Oh.
Yes, I'm not taking this word back, but most times, most bride, when they hire you, yeah, their glorified house help. You have to pick their calls even at late hours, like 3 a.m. She's calling you, telling you how she feels. She's calling you, telling you. So now, talking about your question about some brides being dramatic. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Some brides are dramatic. They can be dramatic.
Wow.
And one thing as a planner in all these years, I would say, in all these years, one thing as a planner I've learned to do is, as you're coming with me with that, you're coming with that gra. I would say in the beginning of my journey, most times I used to answer them back, I'm not saying your papa. I'm sorry, but did I say I'm sorry? No way, I didn't say that. But the truth is, I tell most of my colleagues, back then, if they shout at me, I'm like, can you calm down? And I was always quick to refund their money. You can't stress me. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
A rich babe, that's a baddie.
Yes, but I'm be honest. But over time, I grew and I started learning to understand that we have some brides that are bridezilla.
Which one is Brazilian?
Hey, if we open book, that one, those ones there, you are expected to even do more than what you are paid for, and they will also feel entitled about it. That was why I started off by saying some of these brides, most of them, the pressure, and if naturally as individuals they don't know how to like master their emotions, they tend you are as a planner, you are just get ready to be receiving the aggression, because they would always tend to transfer the aggression on you, and you have to be very wise.
Okay, so have you collected like full payments for an event and under-delivered, or you ghosted them? I want you to be honest, because the reason why I'm asking this question is because there are lots of people that when you pay them to plan your event, they wouldn't plan it all. They may send people to just go and do stuff and just ghost.
Okay, so now here is it. Let me bring up a scenario. Now, for someone who has handled like 2 to 3 events in a day, okay, I just did one recently. Like that last weekend, I was in Akure. I had like an introduction at Ife, and I also had to like send my team to pick up my award in Lagos Ikoyi. The truth is, I can't be everywhere, but there's one thing I always lay emphasis on: communication. Communicate. Definitely, we have planners that one day they might have like 4 jobs. They would try as much as they can to be everywhere. While I've heard of scenarios whereby some clients will be like, you people that are planners, we pay you money, you people go ghosts. Most times, don't blame us, Sha.
So you have ghosted people?
Yes, I have.
Oh, well, you collected money and you ghosted them?
Not like ghosts, but when it gets to the point whereby you're not understanding, I've communicated with you from the beginning, and you're not understanding, we're communicating, you're not listening.
So why do you people have to take 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs the same day?
Well, I don't see it as being a wrong thing. How to expand? We need money.
So you are saying that you care about the money more than planning the actual event?
Now, I'm going to be honest. For me, I always care about planning the event. Now, this brings me to why I became a planner. I think my first year, I just saw it as something I always enjoy when people are happy.
Okay.
I love the memories. I'm someone who I could just lit up the whole place with the whole planning and everything. And trust me, I'm inside a kitchen hiding and you're looking, who made this magic happen? I do that always. Like when I started my journey, once I'm done with executing all the whole thing, I'm in short, I did ghost. I will just disappear. But I now got to discover that you have to still show up. You have to show up. And most times, that's why I said communication, because you have to you have to be in sync with your clients. You have to be in your clients. Like someone like me, when you hire me for a job, I'm the one romancing you every night. That's now, but back then, if you hire me for the job, I would professionally just give you, don't stress me. We will take it as the way it is. But right now, I'm someone who I'm following up with you. There was a particular time I planned an event for a bride, and she looked at me in the eye and she told me, I'm sorry, but you're too professional for my liking. As at that time, I felt offended because I'm like, but I'm trying to do my job now. And she told me to my face, and I'm like, okay, you get. So what I now got to understand is there are different clients
and different people.
I
remember when you were planning my event, I said the reason why I kept choosing you was because of the attention to detail and the professionalism.
Okay, so
I said to that's the reason why I have lots of friends who are event planners, but the reason why I choose you most of the time is because of that professionalism. That I like it. I just want to go and sleep, and somebody is creating that mood board, doing everything. It's okay, I like this one.
Yeah.
So, but nobody has complained that you under-delivered.
Thank you. I know ghosts now. I ghost.
The question be say, they don't complain. Say you under-deliver.
If I under-deliver now for that person.
So it's not it's not a you thing. What made you under-deliver? You need to justify that.
Yes, I think I would. Now, when I don't overpromise, one thing I learned, I would have loved to give a shout out to an event boss who I trained on that, but I'm not going to mention names. One thing I learned from that event boss is don't overpromise and under-deliver. I will let you know, I will take you through the process from the brief to even last minute. And one thing that I always tell like my co-colleagues is, do you know that as event planners, we have superpowers? Because even in dying minutes, even on the spot, we are expected to provide a solution to a problem. And I've had so many, I don't do events inside hall of 500 guests, and the gen went off, and the hall people couldn't provide lights. In short, I had to start cultivating a very, very continuous habit of always checking my blood pressure after events. At times it's still happen. Yes. So when it comes to under-delivering, most times when I get those feedbacks from clients that, okay, you planned my event and this is what I didn't like, I channel that feedback into my next job. And I don't just do it personally. I have a team. So I put everybody on the spot. My admin assistant, Ife, oh my God, see, she knows it. I will tell you, we didn't do this thing well. And I try my possible best to ensure that I check in back with that client and say, okay, we've taken your feedback and we really, really appreciate it. This won't happen. It's also like building a relationship with them. That's just it.
Okay. So do you think that event vendors are rude?
Yes, I've dealt with rude event vendors.
You know, there's a difference between rude and being entitled. So do you think that it's a Lagos thing or just a bad business culture?
So I won't talk about the good side first. I won't talk about the bad side. At times, some vendors, they feel entitled. Yes. And if you want to see the very rude side of me as Debbie, popularly known as your events girl, if you want to see the rude side of me and you meet me at an event and you come with this entitlement aura and attitude, I'm going to give it back to you.
Oh, that's boost.
Some vendors have worked with, they've received it, because the truth is, for example, a very, very funny scenario is like, most times some events vendors, they feel entitled that because you hired them for a job or maybe they're at your event, you have to feed them. That's this particular thing I just said is still like a topic. So one thing we do as planners is we try to we communicate with these clients like, okay, yeah, provisions for these vendors. And in most cases, when these clients have spent millions of naira, they're like, we've paid these people, let them just get their job, they should sort out themselves. Some of these vendors, they don't understand. So even when you communicate these things with them, they'll be like, we came for a job, you did not give us food, you didn't do, and they'll start, once they just see you and they see your tag, even these days, I make a no lie, during my event, I know they wear my tag, they don't go drag me, because some of them be like, you're the event planner, we've not eaten. The CEOs of the brand will even walk up to you and be like, my team have not eaten. And at times when you communicate to them that, try and sort out your team, they feel offended, the entitlement, they smell very. And you get some type of vendors, like their niche, where they will be like, you have not given us food. I'd have loved to just, some of the glam up teams, if you don't take care of them.
When you say glam up team, who are they?
Girl, I'm going to talk. I will not hide my mouth. The likes of the cinematographers,
okay,
the makeup artists. At times, now the wedding industry. I think I would like to use that term, wedding industry, not just events. They now bring in content creators.
Yeah.
You get. Most times, I'll be honest, sharp. These guys, they do so much work. Photographers, they are the ones that tell us the story we see on Bella Niger. Yeah. You get. Personally, when I have these people on my events, if the clients don't take care of them, I do take care of them, because now they give me my content now. But most of the time, so some of them, they always feel entitled. And when they talk to you, you'll be like, if you don't have emotional, there's this thing one of my aunts says, in grantia, if you don't have it, at times you will just lush out on them. That's it.
So why do you believe some event planners intentionally hike prices? Just because the client looks rich?
Well,
because tell me why I'm celebrating a birthday and you're charging me 50 million.
Okay. Let's start with the clients. Some of these clients, they will go online and go and screenshot or go to Bella Niger and bring concepts and designs from some events.
Okay.
And bring it to planners. And when we tell them truth, because the truth is that we'll tell you truth. Some of these designs, at times, some people spend close to like 100 million for one day decor. I'm being honest with you right now. Decorators are hearing me. They should not feel fly shy, but it's just the truth. Decor is not cheap. So some of them, they go online, they bring these pictures and they're like, I want this, want how this stage is. At times, only doing a stage is worth like over 5 million naira. I'll be honest with you. Last night, I was drafting a budget for a bride of mine. She told me her budget. Yeah, no lie. The concept where she sent give me, like the concept she gave to me was of her decor, was already covering just her total wedding budget was already like the only amount for the stage that she says she wants. So most times when we tell these people, They're like, he's too expensive. And some of them now have this ideology that, I don't want to hire a planner. They are always expensive. The truth is, if you hire a planner, you would not have high blood pressure for your events. You go, you will sleep. You will not rest, because we do everything behind the scene. To be honest with you, I was telling a colleague the other day, I said, you see those execution day, the day of the event, it's not the main work. The main work is preparation before that day. Because most times on that day, it is what you have done over time that would show that okay, you really put in the effort. And so far, I would say I took up, was it 2023? I actually sat down on my own and I said, you know what, Debbie, you have to build a structure. Yes, I was already 2 years in business. I was like, you have to build a structure whereby everybody would follow you. Like, I take my team through the process of the event. Once we get hired, this person already knows what to do. This person already knows what to do. So on that day of the event, there's not too much pressure. And most times, when it gets to that point where people are like, this thing, they come to the event and they see like there's no organization. Like, is there a planner at all? And it is not easy. It's not easy, to be honest with you. It's not easy planning an event, because these clients, they give you their vision and you have to bring it to life. You have to bring it to life. You have to tell. It's storytelling in a very, very broad way. You are telling a story. You are even making their magic, like you are making their thoughts come to life. So it is not cheap.
So this question, I want to ask you, have to be very honest with me.
Okay.
I want you to sit up. Okay, so if you found your client's husband was cheating before their wedding, would you still plan the event or tell her?
The first thing I would do is not to plan the event.
Okay, so if you find your client cheating on the wife or bride to be, you will not plan the event.
I don't see a scenario where we say, Groom, they asked me out 2 weeks to the wedding. Drink water. You need to. Should I? Yeah. It's not once, not twice, not 3 times. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. And what did you do?
What did I do? I'm a believer. And there's this thing we say, the wisdom of God is more profitable to the earth. What did I do? This was in the year 2022. He was intentional. He was spoiling me with gifts. He was sending gifts to me. Oh, I heard. He wasn't even telling me that his wife was talking to me. Yeah, he was there. He knows I'm stressed. Do you mind if I get you lunch? I collected lunch like 2 times, Sha. That was when I didn't get the memo. But when I now got the memo, I say, hey, Chineke, Nami, your event girl, you have entered Pete. I've had scenarios like that. And I've also had scenarios whereby for example, a client reached out to you to plan her husband's bed. Now she reached out to you to plan her husband's bed. Now she can't see they suspect you. Say, they get something to do. I don't say if you can't be Gen Z planner.
Hey! You can't be baddie.
You can't be baddie. And you now know how to speak English.
Oh, yeah.
So
event planner way go school. Okay. It's an A1.
So what I did was I called him, and I asked him 3 questions. I said, if you have a younger sister and this is happening to her, how would you feel? He kept quiet. And I asked him again, then imagine if you now have a child and this same thing is happening to her, what would you do? He kept quiet. Then the third one, I think that third one was what made him refer me to. Through this particular person, I would tell you that I've gotten 10 referrals from him.
Wow.
So the third question I asked him was, the first time I spoke to you, you told me you liked how I was very, very diligent. and how it was very, very, he didn't believe, because then I still small safe, but then he was like, then I was still small, like small gay. I never even get body like this. So he was like, he wasn't sure that I would be able to handle his wedding and all, and yada yada, you get. So he said, and I told him, I said, you trusted me with your events, but why are you doing this? Which means you're not just doing this to me, it means you have other girls you're doing it to. So what did I do? I just threatened you. I threatened him myself, I was going to tell. But the truth is that at the end of the day, I told his mom. I didn't tell the bride. Yes, hey. I told his mom.
But it didn't get, the information didn't get to the wife, right?
It didn't get to the wife. I don't think it got to the wife, because you're happily married today with 2 kids.
Oh, nice. Happy married life, you all.
Yes.
I like it. Okay, so now, should a broke person be doing a wedding at all, or should they just go to court and save their self-distress?
When you say broke, let's not go too far. Should a broke person be dating?
Boom, 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 boom.
That's the first question. Sure, the broke person. If you broke, you ought to broke and be telling a girl you marry her. A plate of rice is 10K times 200 guests, including service charge and logistics. That's just food. We're not talking about drinks. We're talking about small chops. We're talking about DJ. We're talking about MC.
But we can decide that. Are you saying that you cannot plan wedding for small people that, they are earning salary? Say, let's say you're earning 50K as salary and I want to wed.
I think I spoke to a rep from Ikoyi registry. The money where they tell me, say make them even pay just for court wedding itself. It's not much, but the truth is, those people who, this question, I'm relating it to people who are broke. Yes, it's the truth. They always want fine things. Yes, they would want big things. So it's better, people have like big desires, people have average, people have small. So if you know you are broke, you don't have money, don't walk up, I'm serious, don't walk up to a planner and expect her to do unrealistic magic for you. Because one thing we do these days is we tell you how the economy of the country ain't smiling. Something back then, someone can do a 500 guest wedding for like maybe 5 million, 3 million, everything, decor, everything, and it to be luxurious. But now you know if you try. A colleague of mine did a wedding last week, and only the decor alone was above 5 M. So if you are broke, don't date. Don't even start putting somebody's daughter.
You heard you heard that.
But not like I'm saying that she cannot marry. You can marry, but shall do the one way your clothes. You
heard that?
Fee marry, arrange. Cut your coat according to your. How do you take this? Speak that to me again.
So what is the most ridiculous request a bride has ever made?
Hi Fabi, can you please go and give out my wedding invitation to my family members? That's one. Can't you just come to my hotel? There's nothing bad. Let's chill.
I don't understand. You go to talk on the explain and where. Let's chill. How?
Let's chill now.
The bride is telling you to come chill.
Yes.
To chill. To do what?
Just
lesbian. Bride is lesbian. You say when you come hotel, maybe you cannot come chill. Please, at this point, it's not water that I need anymore. I think I need malt. Somebody ambulance, bring local side boost. Hey!
Oh, what if the kid was a guy?
I think it was a guy. Okay, so I would know that it's one of those crazy grooms. But a bride, unless, and she's married now. I mean, they
marry. I don't know whether they marry, but when I said let's chill, I think it was a man. Was I a man? I've dealt with 2 brides or less.
Then ask you out.
Yes.
They ask event planner out.
This is the so cool. Our industry like cartel.
Hey, Katerina and Sebastian. Katarina and Sebastian. So between event planners and decorators, who lies the most? Blessing are good that way.
Ma check something first. Okay, who lies the most? Okay. Now I'm going to be honest. I
like honesty. I like honesty.
Okay, so when you say lie, now I would like to just straight
now yes or no question. Event planners and decorators, who lies the most?
We know they lie. We know they lie. We just we sandpaper the thing, make the clients no panic. That's just we sandpaper the thing so the clients will not panic. How do you want us to tell?
So who deserves more money?
The planner.
The event planner and the decorator, who deserves more money?
The planner. So, I'm not saying this because I'm the planner, but there's a time I wanted to venture into decoration. Well, those guys, they invest in a lot. They buy props. In short, you see that's their industry. If you don't have
capital,
and if you don't have hearts, don't go there. Because the truth is, you might kick off by just renting, but you need to invest. And the money those people used to invest, I used to cut cap for them.
Even the renting alone. For those items.
I mean, you're renting like small items, and if you don't even return it back to the company you're renting, your refundable is gone. No. Those just leave it for them, sure.
So now I want to ask, if you're planning an event for me and I owe you, like, is it okay for you to embarrass me online? Or should you just call me? Do I deserve to be embarrassed online?
Okay, so now here is it. If I have had a communication, now one thing I do is, I always like building good relationship with my clients. But once I see that you want to start making me feel that I'm stupid or I don't know what I'm doing, I feel drag you.
Like I better pass my neighbor.
Is there any other gene that is lesser than I better pass my neighbor? But the thing there is, some people intentionally would. Maybe now the thing there is, you have to have a contract.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
you have to have a contract with these people, because I've heard of scenarios that clients owing planners, some even a year, 2 years.
For what?
Millions. It's millions.
For wedding where they don't plan, they don't enter house. Picking where they don't born is already working.
But I have been, I like saying the truth. There's one prayer point I used to pray, that once I'm planning anybody's event, those clients are paying me in full. And so far in 5 years, I have not experienced any of that. But I've heard people's experience. I've heard people that they've even done. Okay, so when I started planning, I think I planned like 2 to 3 free events. But I've heard people that these ones, they are in the industry. They've started making their millions, and some of these people, their clients end up not paying.
Wow.
Yes. And I be one drag corporate organization, because most times they always won't make
those banks and all those corporate organizations.
So you have to be very, very strategic.
And one thing
I always love doing is, when I'm dealing with corporate organization, I document everything, and we communicate via not WhatsApp, email. I would document. I've been privileged to work with Jacbell Nigeria, and I'll tell you the truth. We document everything. We document everything. So clients would owe you. So it depends on how you have built relationship with them for you to get your money back.
Okay.
And if some of them, and for someone like me that don't really have power, it's just that recently some of my colleagues have been dragging me that you have to start changing, you have to start having mind. No, I'll just need the money. I've left money for somebody before, and it's paining me because 2 months after, the person had traveled to Dubai.
Hi.
He paid me that time.
Chai. Before move.
I'm telling you.
So now, let's be real. How many weddings have you planned that you knew that the marriage won't last? From the wedding plan, you already know, say this one not gonna last. They
You just made me remember one. Oh God, oh. Okay. So I always pray for every of my couples to,
live long, married last.
and so far God has just been faithful. That I think recently one put to bed. She's in the UK with her husband. This late last year and this year, but I think 2 weddings. And should I be honest with you? Out of the 2 that I know that would not last, one of them shall be divorced.
And you know, last true. Oh wow. Condolences to the divorced. Okay, so have you ever stolen a client from another vendor or intentionally sabotaged a colleague's event? Have you ever been a witch, in short?
Would I say I've not been a witch to my colleagues, but I've been a witch to people that are after them. Serious witch. So also I call myself that planner that always help planners. And there's something I do. If some of my colleagues reach out to me and they tell me, oh Debbie, we have this job, let's work on it together. If I notice that your client is frustrating, and I feel like you are not approaching and dealing with it the way you ought to, I go make the job lesson on my own. I go frustrate the clients. The truth is, the truth is, some people just don't know how to deal with scenarios. So once they hire you for a job, you are either their glorified house help, they talk to you anyhow, you just have to learn how to control these people. Not everybody know how to respond in a certain way. So if my colleague reach out to me, and I have to be very, very strategic in this thing too, because at times if you not even want to help the colleague to serve, you not say
they will say you
to settle. So what I do is, before I put my leg inside the trouser, I first of all look at the colleague that's, babes, Alpha, we're not moving mad, but if we want to deal with this client, let's deal with this client this way. But sabotaging a vendor, no.
Okay.
I've not done that.
So now, do you think you can plan a wedding for somebody that you don't like, as long as they pay money?
Yes.
You don't like me, you would plan my event. Okay.
Yeah.
What if it's an ex? Would you plan an event for an ex?
You just made me remember something.
You are always remembering something.
The nature of this my job. It's an experience. 8 years in the industry, 5 years only, but it's an experience. And I will be honest with you, I saw things that even at times when I tell my mom is like, I told you to have started noticing this. Because mom, I don't experience that. So if it was an ex, would I plan it? If I've healed, I will plan it.
If you have not healed, how long is your healing process?
For someone like me who is a lover girl, they take time. They take time. So if I've not healed now, if I've not healed and you now hire me, and I feel like the money you want to pay me is big, I will do the wedding. But I will be showing you small premium.
So you'll be a witch, a part-time witch.
Yeah, actually. When the pressure is too much, when the pressure is too much, that's sweet.
What if it's the girl that's giving you attitude because she knows that you're his ex?
That's the reason why I go be the witch now. That's the reason why I'm going to be the witch. So I'll be like, oh my God, you're stressed. Oh, I would handle it. Don't worry, you'll be fine. And
you will handle it.
I mean, when someone now calls me, I'm like, oh, hi. You said you're going to handle it. And I'll just act like, oh, really? I would act like nothing happened. That's being a part-time witch.
Do you look up to anybody online? Like, you know that all these vendors now, everybody has like, oh, my mentor, my this, my that, yeah, da. Do you look up to them, anybody?
Should I be Should I be honest? I like being honest.
Okay.
I think it was even last year I started looking up to someone.
Okay.
Should I tell you why? One interesting thing that helped me when I started, because I started as an event hostess, was I started discovering the dirty side of the industry early. So one thing I never did was to kiss ass. I don't want to know. I don't want to know who you are. You're growing your brand, you're doing this. Yes, I've always had a I have very, like, my mind. I tell it what to do. I make it do what it wants to do. So when I started, I wasn't looking up to anybody. I took personal development very serious. So it was even late last year. I was like, okay, Debbie, you're trying to niche down. You're trying to, like, okay, now expand this and that. Then I started. Then I had a picture of who I was looking up to in the event industry, and a big massive shout out to her, honestly. But in the beginning, I didn't look up to anybody because I started seeing some people kissing ass, and someone like me, I can't kiss.
And some of them, their ass is smelling.
Please give me job now. I didn't do it. Please give me job. I didn't do it. Not like as if I had the backing, or not like as if I had a mentor that I was. Funny enough, I started planning weddings, like events, even before I went to an event school. This is something that when I told someone, she was like, "It's a lie." So you planned my wedding? I told the bride after, "You planned me, you won't go to bed." Yes. How did you do it? So then when I was an event hostess, so I grew from being an event hostess to now being a coordinator. So I was learning. So I was gathering this experience. So it was the experience that made me say, okay, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna have a name. I know the funniest thing, when I even started my event brand, it was a partnership. I don't want to say if it's another story. Me, I won't get with collab. But at the end of the day, the girl now said that I was doing too much, and she left. And I changed my brand name, Sha.
Wow, after the whole investment.
And I changed my brand name, you get. So I took personal development. See, my WhatsApp audience, they know me. That's someone called. So I took it so serious because I knew that I had no backing. So I was always listening to materials. I was everywhere on. I believe like 60% of the event knowledge I have now was from my personal development. Because when I went to event training and seminars, some of the things they were already teaching, I already had an idea and I'd already started executing them. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Fabi.
Thank you, Coach Jacbell.
Thank you, Fabi, for joining us today. Really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is the Fabi Brand, at the Fabi Brand on Instagram and on other social media platforms.
At the Fabi Brand on Instagram. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
High five. Yeah.